I love you, Nate, because in the beginning I thought that he's going to speak Spanish to us. And finally I realized from a friend of mine, she said, no, he doesn't speak Spanish.
Well, I do, but very broken. I couldn't pronounce some of the heavy words that I use when I'm explaining the whole cosmic odyssey in Spanish, so it's very hard for me to translate it. However, Spanish was my first language. As a kid, I learned Spanish first and then English, but then growing up here in California, after I moved out at an early age after my mother passed away. I kind of just, I wasn't engaging in Spanish anymore. So from the age of 16 to the present, I've only been engaging in English. Rarely have I used Spanish. And that's the reason why a lot of the words have left me, But I could hold a conversation. I could go to any Latin American country and hold a conversation, sit at a restaurant and say, in order in Spanish, in detail, but I'm not like really fluent.
So cuando yo te digo, hola, ¿cómo estás? ¿Qué quieres? Tú puedes entender.
Oh, eso sí, estoy muy bien, gracias. ¿Y tú cómo estás, Niky?
Qué bueno, que me encanta Ismael Pérez hablando español.
Sí.
Me gusta mucho. I knew that. I knew he has this Spanish, blood.
Muchas gracias.
Can you give us a little bit summary from why you are a secret space program soldier?
So about a year ago, I started having dreams about fighting in these off-world missions. And it wasn't just off-world. I was talking about going into different universes. And it was a team I think there was about 56 of us. So it was a very small elite team of superhumans, because I do remember having amazing super-like human powers, like what we see in DC movies and in Marvel movies. And I just remember being able to fly and being able to shoot laser through my eyes, electricity through my hands, having amazing telekinetic abilities, being able to control the elements, and these dreams. And of course, I thought they were just dreams at first. But then I started getting downloads about my experiences during meditations. So when you have the dreams and you combine it with the different downloads that you get from your meditations, that is confirming more so that those were more than just dreams, because they do, blank slate your memories when you're off world. When you come back, you have no clue of what happened. You have no clue that you're living a double life, that you're here, but you're also over there because you have different alters, right? So when I started having downloads during my meditation sessions, it just became a little bit more concrete. And so I started researching the super soldier phenomena, and I came to discover that there was secret space programs, more than one. I came to discover that there were different types of super soldiers, that they were that it all began with the Nazis. Of course, they were the first ones to develop the programs in an effort to create the Superman, what Hitler called the Uberman. And then, of course, later it continued here in the States with the interplanetary corporate conglomerate as well, when they were trying to build their interplanetary defense force on the Mars colony. And then, of course, it continued throughout the 70s and throughout the 80s, when they developed benevolent super soldiers working for Solar Warden, Radiant Glory. And then when I found all that information, I heard about what's his name, Terrence McKenna. I think it was Terrence McKenna who pretty much broke into the government servers to pretty much uncloak that, we had non-human terrestrial officers, right? Or non-terrestrial officers, as they call them, that were navigating fleets that were miles long, like cigar-shaped fleets. And then after I studied what he discovered, I also studied a little bit of Randy Kramer's information, and he talked about this group called Radiant Guardians. And that's the terminology, that's the word that kept coming to my dreams, Radiant Guardians, because I know I wasn't part of Solar Warden. But get this, Niky. There are two different groups that work with Radiant Guardians. You have the groups that were developed here through the MyLab programs, which were, people that were abducted by our own military, right? Put through a lot of trauma and torture in order to enhance them genetically, right? And then you also have a program that was left off the records that was not a planetary super soldier program, but it was more of an extraterrestrial super soldier program. And that is the program that I relate to. So that program, which is a branch of Radiant Guardians, is the program that is involved in the cosmic war against this ancient alien AI that many extraterrestrials answer to as their god. So I've come to discover who this alien AI is, that the whole universe is our fighting. And it goes by the name of Sauron Omega. And it's funny because coincidentally, when you watch the movie Lord of the Rings and you see that evil eye, right? The eye of Sauron, when you watch The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, that is the same name given to this evil entity. So it is the same entity that we've been fighting against for billions of years, throughout the cosmos. So the branch that I belong to was left off the records, that to the point where even these private scientific planetary organizations that are involved with these breakaway groups don't have any access to. They only have access to the Solar Warden programs, Solar, of course, the planetary branch of Radiant Guardians, and anything that has to do, and of course, the Global Galactic League of Nations. But the program that I was part of it's not in the records. It's not in the records at all because it's not planetary. It's not terrestrial. It is extraterrestrial. So this is a program I come to discover as I began to get more downloads that has been going on for billions of years. And it started in a prior universe, even before our universe was created. So this program is ancient. And a lot of this also is related to the ancient, to the mythology heroes of the demigods and the gods of old, and the legendary beings that we see in our mythologies, that had superpowers. So they were also part of this program. So in a way, what they do is they use time travel and they collect the best genetics of all these super beings, like Zeus, like Achilles, Apollo, Hercules. They even took a gene from Solomon, King Solomon, who was wise, very knowledgeable, who was like a wizard. And what they do is they travel back into time, into our presence to bring forth, to recreate the heroes of old in modern times. So that's what this program is. And it's called Opus. It's called Project Opus. And it is related to Project Oak Tree, which was a project that I think Max Spears revealed before they killed him, and Project Ibis. So this is the secret off-the-record program that was not recorded, that even Max Spears couldn't talk about because he didn't know about it. So it's Project Opus, OPUS. And then I come to find out that Project Opus was part of a cosmic rescue mission that was known as Project Cosmic Rainbow Warriors that has been going on for billions of years. So I'm one of 56 individuals that have been, apparently I exist, on all these timelines. I exist in Atlantis, I exist in, Lemuria, I exist in the Pleiades, in Lyra, in Orion, in Sirius, in Andromeda. So I exist on all the timelines. There's different versions of me that are fighting this war. I have all these altars. And so that's the project, and that's the program that, from what I recalled, I haven't yet had an opportunity to do a regression so I could get more memories back. But from what I understand is the extraterrestrial super soldier programs are part of a 60 years and back. They don't do 20 years and back. The 20 years and back are only the planetary programs. The extraterrestrial programs are 60 years and back. You're out there for longer periods because you're in alternative universes. You're operating, you're conducting missions that are outside of this universe and other universes. So, it's
interesting. Muy interesante. Muy interesante. For those who wish to continue in the ascension to a higher dimensions, what would you recommend because many believe that it will be earned with money, with religions, or doing good.
None of the above.
Ah, there we go.
The qualifications for higher dimensional existence is in your frequency. So it's not how much money you have. It's not how much, it's what you're generating. It's the vibration that you give off. So I guess the best way to say it is the more you are in service to others, you're going to go into the highest vibrational earth, which is number 6, dimension 6, Terra, as opposed to 5 or 4, because there's going to be the Terra Earth exists in dimensions 4, 5, and 6. So there's going to be 3 different dimensions coexisting at the same time when we ascend. Because right now we're existing in dimensions 1, 2, and 3.
What will be the steps they must follow to do so?
The best advice is to self-analyze, to self-reflect, to know yourself, to go inward, go within, and come to discover who you are as a multidimensional being. And that might require a lot of solitude, a lot of meditation, perhaps spending more time with nature. So if you don't think you're going to make the shift into the positive ascending timeline, you have to start incorporating some sort of a daily spiritual routine, meditation, yoga, tai chi, anything, where it's going to raise your vibration, your frequency. And also, this is a good time to cut cords with people that no longer serve or are in alignment to your purpose, to your mission, because all they do is they try to drag you down. So it's okay to cut cords, guys. It's okay to, weed out all the people in your life that are just pulling you down in vibration, right? You want to be uplifted in vibration, right? So only align yourself with people that are uplifting you, that are also resonating at the same frequency as you are.
The QFS, the quantum financial system. People say that there is no more paper money and the banks will collapse to the point that they will close or have already closed it. I don't know, what do you think about this?
It is the fiat system as we know it. Paperless money is no longer existing, and we're just seeing the last ripple, the last effect of it. So the quantum financial system, again, right, in the positive earth, is going to be replacing all digital currencies, all crypto, Bitcoin. None of that's going to exist. Everything's going to move in the positive earth, everything's going to move into a type of system that benefits everyone. In my book, I call it the Bank of Universal Abundance, el Banco de Abundancia Universal.
Así es, el Banco de Abundancia Universal. David I say we have been living in a global record of fake news.
Well, we're ending the dark ages that began thousands of years ago. So we're coming to an end of the dark ages, and we're going to be experiencing the beginning of a new age, which is a golden age. So in the dark ages, you could say that the fallen angels and the cabal have been in control. But now that their time is up, everything is shifting towards the light. So for those that are in the positive ascending timeline, when the timeline split takes place, they're going to be inheriting a new heaven on earth, where there is going to be no more darkness. There is going to be no more corruption. There's going to be no more bad angels. It's going to be only good angels. And who's going to be the angels in this new earth? We are the star seeds. Las estrellas semillas.
Semillas estelares.
Las semillas estelares. The star seeds are going to be the new angels on earth.
That's what we are. I just want people knows how easy it is to speak to Ismael Perez.
Thank you, Niky. It's a pleasure to be here. Sorry it took forever for me to reach out to you. I never really had an opportunity to check my DMs on Facebook. Something told me to go through my request a week ago, and that's when I found you. And I'm so glad I did. And here we are.